Welcome to another live event on Force 13. We're talking about more cyclone activity this evening over the next hour, as we always do. And of course, we'll be discussing the many things that are going on around the world right now. The main features are the two storms that we have active right now in the southern hemisphere, still going strong into mid-April. We have Cyclone Joalane, which is still a Category 1 hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale, last time I knew anyway. I'll check up on the intensity for you shortly. And we also have Tropical Storm Solo, which is gradually intensifying in the southwest, in the South Pacific. And I can hear myself in the background. Is that Daniel's fault? We'll be introducing them shortly. Actually, we'll do it right now. First of all, we have Jean, who's joining us from Mauritius. Hello. Not too far from where Joalane is passing, as a matter of fact. Well, of course, he's on Mauritius, so he's not in any danger or anything. But those on the island of Rodrigues currently have some sort of gale warning in effect. They had a Class 1 cyclone warning not so long ago, but that's now gone. We also have Daniel, well, sort of. We've got I'll let him introduce himself. Daniel?
Hello, I'm using text-to-speech as my iPad charger is broken.
You're using text-to-speech because your hardware there is broken. Oh dear.
Yes.
That's going to be a good show, huh? We also have Jason, who's joining us from Down Under.
Hello.
And I'm not sure whether he's joining in on the fun as well, because he was before we went on air. I'll let him decide. We also have Michael, who's joining us from Hampshire, which is very cyclone-prone. Not. How are you?
Hello, everyone. Nice to be here.
Oh, that's Jason in the background. Michael?
Ah.
Hello?
Hi. We're live.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'll probably later on in the show. I'm currently preparing a weather forecast PowerPoint to show you guys. So that should be ready within the next sort of 15 to 20 minutes.
That's Michael's answer to how are you. Let's take a look at what the storms look like on satellite imagery then. You can see Joalane first of all. You can just about see the island of Rodrigues on the left-hand side of the storm. Never in any real danger of succumbing to the central part of the storm. It's always been on the peripheral side of the storm. But you can see the eye still fairly visible, more so than it used to be, I think. And it's headed towards the south or southeast at this point in time. Big crunching in the background. Who's responsible for that?
Sorry.
Yes, that's you, Michael. I should have known. Jason's imagery is also showing. I couldn't actually look at that, but I think he's showing us Solo, which is the new storm that's formed in the Coral Sea. You can see it on my screen here as well. Sort of the Coral Sea, is it still? Or is it more towards the South Pacific? Anyway, areas under threat, New Caledonia in particular, but also Vanuatu could again be seeing problems from this storm. The edges of the storm, the cloudiness associated with it are still just offshore, but southern islands of Vanuatu in the next few days may possibly see some bad conditions in relation to Tropical Cyclone Solo. So of course we'll be watching that very eagerly in the next few days, but New Caledonia is under the most threat, and I think we'll be looking at radar imagery in the next few moments as well, which Jason was looking at not so long ago. But first of all, Jason, I'm just looking at your screen showing the track map. You can see how it was on as Category 1 on the Australian scale. I think is that Category 2 now on the Australian scale. It's intensifying. It went up from 50 miles per hour to 60 miles per hour, according to RAM, meaning its wind speed in kilometers per hour is around 110. Joalane, by the way, is around 85 miles per hour and has been the case for some time, and that is around 140, 150 kilometers per hour. Jason's showing us the radar imagery coming out of New Caledonia. You can see heavy rainfall approaching. The southern Vanuatu islands on the right-hand side, which were really affected by Cyclone Pam, of course. We'll obviously be keeping an eye on whether they get any heavy rainfall or not. But you can see, first of all, New Caledonia is the main threat area. I don't know whether Jason could go back to the map and just have a quick look at that once more to show what sort of areas we're looking at in the next few days. And you can see warning areas, what's that, advisory zone for the southern islands of Vanuatu in effect as well. But does that mean that New Caledonia is not under that area, or do they have their own different warnings that are not indicated on that map? Because I'm sure New Caledonia will have some sort of warnings out as well. Yes, I heard that, Daniel. Robot Daniel, what's your question?
I have a question.
Yes,
Are
we know.
tropical cyclones as powerful as tropical cyclones?
What? This is going to be a good show.
Are cyclones as powerful as tropical cyclones?
I'm not sure what you're talking about, Daniel.
Extratropical
Oh,
cyclones.
right. The crucial bit at the start I missed out. Extratropical cyclones. Are they as strong as tropical cyclones?
Yes.
Well, put it this way. If you take the strongest extratropical cyclone against the strongest hurricane, I think the hurricane will win. Extratropical cyclones can produce strong winds. Hurricane force quite often at times, usually weak hurricane force, but you can get stronger ones as well. I'm not sure what the strongest one ever was, but I'm sure some brain box out there will know.
Okie dokie.
Okay. Okie dokie, sure. So that's the two storms we're tracking at this time. You can also have your say and ask a question of your own if you're watching the video right now, or submit a comment or whatever else you want to say. And we'll do our best to respond to it if it's directed towards us. And there are lots of comments from one person at the moment, Tropical Cyclones channel. Nice of you to join us, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are we now? Jason's screen is showing us another perspective of the storm. There it is. I can see it now. The central part of the storm looks very strong indeed.
Hello, Tropical Cyclones channel.
Pardon?
Hello, Tropical Cyclones channel.
Very good, yes. And you can see sort of like a secondary area of really strong thunderstorms and whatnot towards the northeast of that storm as well. You can also see there's the full view now that Jason's showing us, the whole of the southern hemisphere pretty much. You can also see thunderstorms occurring across the Indian Ocean as well, not too far from Indonesia. Of course, you can see Joalane on the left hand side. Looks stronger than it is with the untrained eye.
Nathan?
Yeah, Mike?
You're getting some like buzzing from your microphone.
That's unfortunate. There's nothing I could do about it.
Yeah.
It comes and goes. Is it there?
No, stop now.
Good, good. Were you going to say anything else?
Annoying.
It's refreshing to hear a human voice.
No, not really. I'm still working on the weather forecast.
Well, yeah, you come in whenever you're ready, Mike. Jean's showing us the Earth map. You can see the two cyclones quite clearly on this map as well. Joalane on the left-hand side, significantly broader, its influence at least, than Cyclone Solo, but Solo may well become the strongest storm very soon. Could become a Category 1 storm on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale in the next day or two as it heads towards New Caledonia, quite possibly going to make a landfall there in the next few days too. Now there's Jean showing us the satellite loop of Cyclone Joalane in the southwestern Indian Ocean. You can see Mauritius well away from the storm. Rodrigues still only on the edge, to be honest. Probably going to be seeing some gales. Heavy rain, maybe not so much, but possibly.
Are there any more invests?
No,
there isn't active.
That's all we have at the moment. So it's a pretty quiet time. Yeah. Oh, well, there's Sean showing us the track map as well, so you can see what Matteo France is saying, weakening quite quickly from this point forth, actually, as the storm moves towards the south and then looking to be post-tropical in around 24 or 36 hours' time. And then it will curve towards the west and then a bit more of a sharp turn back towards the south and southeast. There's the latest from Jason's radar imagery showing Cyclone Solo on the other side of Australia, beginning to affect New Caledonia. I don't know whether there are any webcams there, by the way, if anyone wants to hunt for one.
What intensity is Solo?
Yes. Solo, as far as we know, its intensity has gone up from 50 to 60 miles per hour. That's around 105, 110 kilometers per hour. Or is it a bit less than that? Something around 100 anyway. You can see it there on Jason's map, almost like a little bit of a donut starting to appear. Sort of a little bit of emptiness towards the centre there, which may be an eye starting to form. We can't confirm that yet. But actually, looking at my imagery as well, the latest imagery from the Navy, you can
A
see,
very big donut.
yeah, just a little bit round here where my cursor's hovering, where it's just that little bit darker, perhaps an eye starting to form. I don't know whether we've got any visible imagery of the area yet, but if not, it should be fairly soon.
Yes.
And what's this? No, not yet, but it should be pretty soon that we should see first visible imagery of Cyclone Solo, which is headed towards New Caledonia.
Awkward silence.
Question mark.
Question mark? What about a question mark?
What's Michael doing?
Well, Michael's preparing for something that he's doing shortly. Jean's showing us what the forecast is for the GFS on the Earth map. You can see the storm there, the first image. And then the next image is 24 hours from now. And you can see it's just about making landfall on New Caledonia. So that's 24 hours. I'm sure there'll be warnings in effect. I'll confirm that for you shortly. And then the storm moving out towards the southeast, pretty much following the line of New Caledonia, passing south of Vanuatu, but could still deliver some strong winds, maybe some heavy rain there. That's why they're under an advisory zone. And then it's well off towards the east by 3 days from now. Let me just take a look at New Caledonia and see what warnings are in effect at this point. I'm sure there will be some. Oops, wrong place. Where are we here? I'm trying to find warning zone. Oh, it's not loading.
Oh dear.
I know, it's awful, isn't it? Here we are. Slowly managing to load a page. Someone's probably found out the information by now. Yes, pretty much the top half of New Caledonia are under the what I call yellow alert. Areas under this sort of yellow area. I don't speak French, unfortunately, but maybe Jean can actually translate this for us. Oops. Oh, have I done it? That looks like I've done it. Didn't actually intend to do that, but I did. That's the what the warnings are in effect for New Caledonia. I'm guessing because yellow is near the green bit, it's probably a bit of a watch in effect at the moment. And I reckon that it may become orange as the storm grows closer. They have those alerts there. I'm not familiar with them, unfortunately. If you can speak French, please come on our show. But you can certainly see on the radar imagery, at least. Obviously, it's. I mean, I think it's common sense for me to say that it's. That you should be preparing for this storm if you're living on New Caledonia, because it's quite likely that the storm will pass through the whole of the island, maybe as a tropical storm with wind speeds in tropical storm force, possibly over 100 kilometers per hour, maybe. As it passes through, of course, heavy rainfall will be prevalent as well, and we could see some flooding across New Caledonia as well in the next few days as the storm passes over. So we're looking at first contact of landfall in around 24 hours. And then maybe the storm leaving New Caledonia in another 24 hours. Who was that speaking just then?
How many people live in New Caledonia?
You're really making me do the research this evening. I'll find out.
I could do that.
I've beaten you to it. New Caledonia has 268,000 people residing in it.
Oh.
So a fair amount.
Oh.
Oh, indeed.
Vanuatu has
There is a slight risk for
252,753.
development.
So yeah, very similar population to Vanuatu.
They've got a
the
nice
effects
life
aren't
expectancy.
the effects aren't going to be as bad in New Caledonia as it is in Vanuatu, because of course the storm's much weaker, but it
Nathan.
still could be a typhoon force cyclone when it does pass through. I heard you, Mike.
Yeah, You know, New Caledonia, they have a life expectancy of 76 years. If there's a tropical cyclone coming, 3 days.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jason, were you saying something? Or were you just showing me that map?
Long term, there is a slight risk for development of a low over the Indian Ocean near 90 degrees east mid to late next week.
So that's the area south of Indonesia, isn't it? Or southwest?
Yes.
Oh yes, there's the response. I was just about to say no response from the robot. You can also see Jean's map here as well, showing 4 models and where they're expected to go. And all of them are predicting a landfall somewhere in New Caledonia, whether it be on the mainland or whether it be on the islands to the east. What were they called? The Loyalty Islands? Was that the name? The GFS, I think, and the NavGem predict landfalls on the mainland. And the other 2, GEFS and GEM, predicting landfalls on the islands off to the east there. So I suppose the worst case scenario for Vanuatu, even though it's not going to be a direct hit by any stretch of the imagination, will probably be the GEM model, especially for those southern islands which were almost decimated by PAM just a month ago. Jason's showing us the what I was about to show as well. Let's take a look at this. So you can see, now this is well into the future, not sure how far. What's that, 102 hours is that? I'm not sure whether it's updating on my page or not. But you could certainly see a new storm starting to form. I'll show it on my screen as well, because then I can be completely sure as to what I'm showing everyone. So you can see how we go along here. You can see Cyclone Joalane on the left-hand side of the image here, moving towards the south, and then this new system forming further towards the northeast. And that could become a new tropical cyclone in the Indian Ocean, not too far from 90 degrees east. It's on the eastern side of that, the Australian side. And that could become a significant cyclone as well, gradually moving towards the southeast as time goes on, looking at a week ahead now, and then looking to be peaking and then weakening far to the west of Australia.
okay.
Okay. Latest satellite loop of Solo. You can see how it's been developing on the animated floater imagery here. It's been moving towards the southeast, and what do you think about this, guys? Intensifying, weakening, or maintaining? What do you think?
Don't know.
Slight intensification, I think. Certainly what's been the case for the past few hours. You can just about make out the outline of the New Caledonian islands towards the southeast of your screen, the bottom right. Those islands there, that's New Caledonia. On the far right here, that's Vanuatu. So these islands are all Vanuatu. Port Vila, I think, is on this island here, which I'm hovering around. Oops.
Is there anything?
What?
Is there anything you want me to look at?
Just this, really. And you can see one of the bands associated with the storm could be on its way to approaching some of those islands in Vanuatu as well. So we'll be watching out for that. Jason's showing us the radar imagery from New Caledonia, and as that updates, we'll also be on top of that as well. Rainfall starting to creep inwards, only light at this point, but it's not too far from reaching the mainland of New Caledonia. Population 250,000. Similar to Vanuatu. We're live. It's 20 minutes past 9 here in the UK, at 8:20 UTC, and the time locally, I suspect, is probably around, goodness, about 7 or 8 in the morning, perhaps now.
Does
That's the island
anybody
of New
have
Caledonia.
questions for me?
Let me take a look and see if there's been any comments. Let's see.
Okay.
Lots of, oh, who's creaking and making noise in the back? Lots of comments by one particular person.
Yes.
From Tropical Cyclones channel. Thank you very much for being so engaged in our conversation this evening. And they say, P.S. View my channel.
Ha ha ha.
I did once. I'm pretty sure of it. Jean's showing the JTWC map for Solo. They're predicting a tropical storm landfall on that northwestern tip of New Caledonia, and then moving towards the southeast and north of the capital Nouméa, and then towards and accelerating rather rapidly as it moves towards the southeast, passing well to the south of Fiji, and then off towards goodness knows where. Jason's showing us another map, I think. That's of New Caledonia. Of course, in French, it's Nouvelle Calédonie, or something like that. Michael,
What?
would you like to say anything? Just thought you...
Oh, yeah,
Michael.
what?
Yes?
What?
Say something, Daniel. Come on.
Anything to share?
No, he's about to. He's preparing. Apparently, what Michael's tactic is to prepare for the show when he's on air.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, that's
real
my plan.
real
Yeah,
professional,
I'm very highly professional.
aren't we all?
They're halfway through the show, and I'm
Hey.
making a complete twat of myself whilst doing
No,
it.
Michael, thanks very much. No swearing on air, please.
I'm sorry.
If you'd like to join us on our hangout, by the way, you're more than welcome to do so, as long as you don't swear. You can join us. You can be virtually sat next to me presenting the show. Not really, but you can certainly be taking part in talking about the storms and screen sharing or whatever you want to do. You can just speak to me personally, and if you'd like to do that, and we'd be more than welcome to accept you on the team. We're also on Skype. You can add me personally. My account is Fool13, FOOL 13, the number.
You are a fool.
Yeah, it's true. And you can add me on there, and I can invite you into the Force 13 chat room if you wish, which is where all our team members hang out.
It is a farce.
It's not a farce. I'm trying to sell it here, Daniel. You're just wrecking it.
Trying to sell yourself.
Yeah, quite. You can see some more interesting over Australia. I don't know whether Jason could tell us whether that's still the remnants of Ebola or whether something else has moved in now in Western Australia there. With his robotic Australian accent.
HMPH.
What's that?
Mistake.
Yes, that's Daniel talking there. But I was just listening out for Jason, but I don't think he's there at the moment. At least not his automated voice, anyway. It's a very strange world we're living in, guys. The 21st century, I'm speaking to 2 robots and 2 humans, apparently.
Are you a robot?
Yes, you can see... but yeah, you can see both of those storms, Cyclone Joalane on the left-hand side, Cyclone Solo on the right-hand side. They're sort of the same latitude at this point. Both headed south, of course, as they... What's that? As they typically do in the southern hemisphere. Cyclone Joalane headed towards the south, out to sea now, passing Rodrigues. The worst is over for Rodrigues, and don't think it was really that bad. And Cyclone Solo is beginning to approach New Caledonia, where we could possibly see some localized havoc there in the next few days, with winds of over 100 kilometers per hour expected, and possibly more strengthening on the way.
Okay.
Okay, indeed. But there's the latest loop. 417 is back apparently.
Hello.
And they would like to join apparently. So I'm gonna Michael, I don't know whether you could entertain us for a few moments whilst I send them the link.
Okay, yeah. So in the next.
Ah, yeah, right.
Okay, yeah. So sort of in the next few minutes, once it's all ready to go, I'll be presenting you with a weather forecast for worldwide just for Sunday, because of the time to prepare it.
Wonderful.
Shut up. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it when it is completed, which is nearing completion. All I have to do now is just the forecast for Moscow.
Moscow?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Excellent.
doing Moscow.
Why are you doing Moscow?
I've got the temperatures in for Moscow. I just need the like the conditions.
So tell me what you think about the current tropical developments, Michael.
Is it cold?
Fairly interesting actually. Wasn't actually expecting Solo to form.
Yeah.
Was quite a pleasant surprise to me.
Well, not for people in New Caledonia.
Yeah, but it's a pleasant surprise for storm trackers.
Yeah, right. And what do you think it's going to do? Do you think it will intensify much more before landfall?
Possibly, possibly saying a 75 mile per hour Category 1 storm. I'd say that's what I'm.
Were you surprised about how much Joalane bottled it?
Yeah, because at one point they were expecting it to explosively intensify to a C5, weren't they?
Category 5, and they only ended up reaching Category 2. Obviously, good news for Rodrigues, but I think it would have been irrelevant anyway because the storm is passing significantly to the east, I think. I mean, I think Rodrigues is actually on the edge, so I suppose if it was a Category 5, it would have been broader and it would have been a worse storm for Rodrigues, but as it is, a fairly weak storm, well, definitely in comparison, and not too bad for Rodrigues. I don't, where is it? Yeah, it's just on the edge of the image there on Jason's pictures, sort of on the very edge of the storm and the dry air that is that the storm's holding back.
What should I research for you?
What would you like to research for us, Daniel the robot?
No idea.
Well, be a good idea if you could think of something first, huh?
Your decision.
My decision. All I'm doing is presenting the show. That's all. I'm making sure that we actually have a show. That's all.
You are the person in charge.
Yeah, it seems so because without me talking, I think this would be as dead as a library at night.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's Jason showing us the Earth map, showing both the storms. You're laying a bit further south in latitude than Solo. Both of them headed south. Solo headed for New Caledonia. Don't know whether we could zoom in on that for us, Jason.
Vladivostok.
Vladivostok.
Yeah. Just doing both sides of Russia.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Michael likes the cold places.
10-2.
There's a Jean's map also showing where the storm's expected to go, pretty much what the JTWC is saying. Let's back to Jason. You can see the storm there. Winds already, by the looks of things, maybe beginning to affect New Caledonia ever slightly. It's going to get worse, obviously. Rainfall is just starting to approach. The radar imagery which we saw earlier, I'm sure it'll be up shortly as well, showing that rainfall is not too far from New Caledonia. Obviously, my floater imagery as well. Well, there's the radar.
Is it a sinker or a floater?
It's a floater image on the edge of the edge of New Caledonia. There is rainfall approaching. The worst of the storm still remains well out to sea, and I don't know, in that last frame, if you just have a look at that last frame on my imagery here, there's a little bit of a dark area around here. Watch, there it is. Whether that might be an eye starting to form, who knows? But initially I was thinking it was towards the right, but it seems to be towards the very edge now. I suppose it will keep us guessing until it actually emerges.
I am almost ready, Nathan.
Oh, excellent.
I have
So,
two more. I think it's 2 or 3 more locations, and then I should
best,
be ready to go.
the best news I've heard all night, Michael.
Great.
You're joining us on Force 13. It's 9:30 here in the UK. It is early in the morning, or it's probably dawning now, isn't it, in the South Pacific, where there may be another Pacific storm on the way. This time for New Caledonia. It could strike the island with winds of possibly over 110, 120 kilometers per hour. That's the sort of thing we're looking at the moment. Vanuatu is not under an immediate threat from this storm, though it could have a slight bit of a glancing blow if the storm draws a bit closer than forecasted. At the moment, it's not looking too bad for Vanuatu, though. But of course, in the state that they are in after the storm they had 3 or 4 weeks ago, they don't really want anything, do they? There is an advisory zone in effect for part of the southern islands of Vanuatu. Who was that?
I'm not a robot.
You are a robot.
Okay.
Yes, yes, clearly. I'm just typing a message, so don't mind me.
Sure.
So, Daniel the robot, can you explain to everyone why you're a robot this evening? Just again for people who may have just joined us.
My,
They're wondering what the hell's going on.
my iPad charger is broken.
Oh dear. There was smoke coming out of it last night, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
That can't be very good, can it?
Was very hot.
Yeah, I see. All right. Well, best of luck for the future with your technology, Daniel. What was that?
I could have died.
Yeah, indeed. Never mind. There's
Wow.
Jason's imagery showing the whole view of the southern hemisphere. Heavy thunderstorms by the looks of it. Or at least I just look at it from my screen on the along parts of Indonesia as well, along the coast there, into the Indian Ocean, north and south. A few thunderstorms here and there dotted about the place. Big swathe of dry air extending into Western Australia now. So, Jason, are you very much dried off after the remnants of Ebola swept through? I want his automated Aussie to reply. Maybe he's too busy looking at the commanding his parents. What?
What about me?
Yeah, what about you? Nothing's going on with you at the moment. You're in Manchester. There's a close-up of Cyclone Joalane on Jason's screen just a moment ago. Have you actually shown us a close-up of Solo recently? You can also see a little bit of dry air to the east of the storm as well. A little bit over the southern part of Vanuatu, a more potent area further north. And there's the close-up on Solo. I do think that is an eye starting to develop just east of the most intense part of the storm. On the previous imagery, I was just looking at the one step back there. Not that one, but another one. That one. You just sort of see a little bit of a. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But rather interesting to say the least. Michael, are you nearly ready?
Yeah, I'm ready to go actually.
Michael's ready, believe it or not. So now we have the Michael hour. I tried to get him to condense it to 5 minutes, but he ends up taking 35. Here goes.
About time.
So
I'm
guys,
impressed, Michael.
So guys, here we go. So we have here current active storms, tropical storm Solo, and we also have active. Just trying to close some things so it will go a little bit faster for your entertainment.
Should hope so. So Joalane, you can see where it is in relation to the rest of the world. That's on
It's
the
category.
western side of the Indian Ocean. 417 has joined us.
Hello,
I'm rather intrigued as to who this person is.
Hello 417.
Oh boy. Hello.
Cool. 417. Okay. So yeah. So as you can see here, tropical storm Solo, in the South Pacific.
The mic
Also,
just goes along.
Cyclone Joalane,
Yeah,
category 1 storm on the Saffir-Simpson scale.
that's
Also,
right.
one other thing. It
Let
is
me just
now
actually,
56.
Michael. Can I just also mention that Cyclone Solo, those of you who use the Australian scale, and now you're very familiar in the South Pacific as well, it's a category 2 on the Australian wind scale at this point.
Okay. Yeah, and one other thing to say actually, it is now 56 days to the start of the Atlantic hurricane season, and 32 days, I believe, or no, it's 35 days until the start of the Eastern Pacific hurricane season.
Yeah. Jason, am I actually right in saying Solo is category 2 on the Australian scale? It seems a bit weak to be that. It's at least category 1 on the Australian scale anyway. Certainly ain't 3.
Okay, so now on to Sunday day conditions.
Oh, would you look at that?
We have here fairly sunny in Washington DC.
Michael's doing us a weather
Also sunny-
forecast.
Also sunny in Rio de Janeiro.
Using the old BBC symbols.
It's cloudy in the UK. I'm going to get some new symbols ready for the next update.
I was always a
also
fan
in-
of those old symbols, you know.
There's also in Cairo. It's going to be fairly cloudy as well on
They
Sunday.
are very cute.
As well as Cape Town. It's going to be fairly cloudy with some sunny intervals. Also Antarctica, fairly nice. As you can see, the little smiley face sun there.
Would you go sunbathing?
Very cold.
No,
Yeah.
because even the day temperatures are about -18. Which we'll go to in a minute. Moscow
then.
is sunny. It's going to be fairly wet in Beijing and also in Manila. And also up in Vladivostok, cloudy again with some sunny intervals and heavy showers down in Sydney.
Excellent.
Looking at the Sunday day temperatures, we have 27 in Rio de Janeiro, 18 in Washington, 17 in the UK,
Right.
15 in Moscow, 10 in Vladivostok, Beijing and Manila around 10 degrees, and actually Manila is actually slightly higher. I believe it's 26.
Hold on a moment.
Actually, it's 26 in Manila.
Yeah, I should think so. Slightly higher, quite a lot higher.
Yeah, it's 26. I believe it's 26. I didn't.
Hold on a moment. 10 degrees where?
In Beijing.
Beijing. You've put it over Hanoi.
Yeah, it should be a bit more north actually. I think.
A lot more north.
Yeah, and that is Beijing. That's supposed to be Beijing. And also down in Sydney we have 22 degrees, and then Cape Town 25, and down in Antarctica day temperature is 18 degrees centigrade.
Below. 18 below.
Yeah, it's 18 below, negative 18. And now Sunday night, more the same, mainly cloudy. Some clear conditions. I don't have the moons. Like
No,
ones.
clearly not. Sunshine at night.
No, there's no like moon things. I
Never
couldn't
mind,
find them. But the upgraded ones should have like the moon on them.
Well, we'll look forward to it, Michael. Yeah.
Yeah. So mainly cloudy, pretty much everywhere. More overcast over Antarctica. And it's going to be fairly clear night, mostly everywhere, really. Other than the only place that I did.
There's got to be storm somewhere.
The night temperatures are going to start to drop off a cliff up in Beijing. We have 3.
Also which you put down in Vietnam.
And Vladivostok is 2. 16 in Sydney, 15 in Cape Town, 21 in Rio de Janeiro, 7 in the UK, 10 in Washington DC, and also negative 46 in Antarctica.
How much? Oh, -46. How about that? That was Michael's section.
It.
Thanks, Mike.
Save that.
Well done.
And off.
We're on Force 13 live. We're discussing Tropical Cyclone Joalane and Tropical Cyclone Solo. Both storms have formed in the past few days. Well, Joalane's been around for a while. It's passing, making its closest approach, I suppose, to Rodrigues. But you can see Rodrigues down the left-hand side of the storm, quite a distance away from the storm's centre. Time here in the UK is 20 minutes to 10. That means it's 8:40 p.m. in UTC. If that means anything at all to anyone.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Jason's showing us more imagery of the radar. I don't know whether the rain is fizzling out a little bit or not. It's difficult to tell. I don't know. I don't think we really had the chance earlier, but I don't know whether Force 17 would like to say something or not.
Oh, I'm fine.
Nice. You're fine. That's the Earth map as well. Now, you're from somewhere in the US. Was it Tennessee?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for me?
No. How's the weather there at the moment?
Any tornadoes?
No.
No tornadoes. Tennessee doesn't usually get tornadoes, do they? Or just the odd
No,
few?
they're in Tornado Alley, I think.
No, not quite.
Yeah, we get a few, a couple, like every other year.
Well, there you go, Mike. Question answered. Nice of you to join us. There's Jason showing us the track map for Cyclone Solo, headed towards the southeast. Vanuatu, the southernmost islands, under an advisory zone. Gales possible from 24 to 48 hours from now. Meteo France have issued, I think, watches or yellow areas for the northern half of New Caledonia. That's the islands that are directly in the path of the storm, where it could make landfall. As a Category 1 on the Saffir-Simpson Oregon wind scale, we could see winds at landfall around 110 kilometers per hour, possibly. If it continues to intensify, maybe more. At the current rate, the storm has winds of 60 miles per hour, which is around, 105 kilometers per hour at this point, and has been intensifying. Michael's stuffing his face again. Excellent.
Grabbing a drink as well.
Yeah, why not?
I'm parched, actually.
Oh, me too. As soon as this show finishes, yep. There'll be lots of drinking going on. But until then, we're going to remain very professional, aren't we? There's
Getting
John.
drunk, Nathan?
There's John showing up. No comment.
I've already made plans for my 18th. All I know at the moment.
No, Michael, do not say it. Do not say it.
October 21st,
Do not say it.
2017 will not be a very nice day for me.
Okay, fine. That's enough. That's John showing. That's John showing us the loop for Cyclone Joalane, headed towards the southeast. Also on my screen, you can see what Solo is doing at the moment, headed towards the same direction, actually, towards the southeast. You can see New Caledonia towards the bottom right of your image there, Mike.
An update for tornadoes. There is a possible tornado touchdown in Illinois. As we saw earlier on the news, there has been a fairly catastrophic tornado, an EF5 on the, I believe it's the Fujita scale.
What, is that current?
You know, it was about 4 hours ago.
4 hours ago.
There was an EF5 tornado on the Fujita scale, and also another one has touched down from the same storm, in the same sort of area. Currently, an EF2 on the Fujita scale.
That's live, is it, Mike?
That's live now.
All right. We'll get some information on the tornado situation at some point as well, because we did cover it at quite at length last night. Daniel?
There has been one fatality.
Yeah, that was from one of yesterday's tornadoes, wasn't it?
Actually, they have upgraded that to 2 fatalities.
And do we know which tornado was that? One in Illinois.
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
it was Illinois.
Right. Comments. I don't know whether it's Nukes or Nukes Slender says, I logged in and I saw this. Well, glad you're watching. Hope you're not deterred from it forever because of some people's performances here and the fact that we're speaking to 2 robots as well. Arthur Yagut, Yeah, good. Yep. I can't speak today. Arthur, yeah, good. Yeah, there we go. Damn, that's one bad storm. Hope it won't be as bad as Tropical Cyclone Pam. Well, I can say almost with certainty that it won't be, at least not in intensity, but with the storm passing through New Caledonia, not too far from where Vanuatu is, we could still possibly see some bad effects from this storm. Heavy rainfall, strong winds could cause some significant damage in New Caledonia. As far as Vanuatu is concerned, there may be some heavy rainfall, possibly some flooding. I'm not sure that strong winds will be a real factor, but we could possibly see relief efforts in Vanuatu hampered once more, just 4 weeks after Cyclone Pam ravaged the area on March 13th. But that's the latest on Solo. The latest we know is that it's been upgraded from 50 miles per hour to 60 miles per hour in the last few hours, and that in kilometers per hour is around 82. It went up from 80 to around 100 or 105. Arthur says I actually have a live video of the Fairdale Monroe Center tornado, which I tracked. Was that a recent one? I'm not so hot on tornadoes. You see, that's my problem. We have other people who sort all that stuff out. Hey.
I might leave soon, as there is little for me to contribute.
Oh dear. No, stick around. We're only here for just 12 more minutes. Well, Arthur, if you wish, you can always share the video with us. We'd be really pleased to showcase it. I'm sure it would have been I mean, if you were close to it. It must have been quite an awesome sight. Obviously, it would be for me because I've got no experience of tracking tornadoes. I've never actually seen one in real life. Never mind a hurricane. I know that there was one a few miles away from me. In 2012, I think, a weak one. It lifted a trampoline. That's all it did. And I know tornadoes.
There's one in Birmingham. It was actually an EF1 on the Fujita scale.
Yeah, that's right. I know tornadoes over in Tornado Alley are a different thing altogether. Some of them can destroy entire towns and cities, can't they? Daniel?
Nathan?
Yeah?
Actually, do you know where the most tornadoes are? Where do you think the most tornadoes worldwide are?
I read the UK.
Well,
yeah, it's actually Britain.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually Britain.
Right. Sorry, Daniel.
I read the UK gets the most tornadoes per square mile.
Per square mile? Interesting. But how many is that?
Rarely touch down.
I just want to look at actual numbers. How many tornadoes per year?
Down.
What's that?
But they rarely touch down.
They rarely touch down, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Arthur tracked it from his house. I thought he might have meant actually filming it, but maybe I was asking a bit much there. There's an image from Jason. Is that visible, or is it some sort of enhancement? But visible imagery mustn't be far away now. Do we have any first light over Cyclone Solo? No, we don't. That's a shame. I would have thought day has broken over Cyclone Solo. I don't know whether Jason's got anything he could show us as well.
Nathan? Do you think we could do a game of Guess the Storm?
Well, in a few moments.
Because I'm just a little Guess the Storm game now.
Daniel certainly likes to play games. He likes to play. He likes to. He's got his own gaming channel, haven't you, Dan?
Yes.
Would you like to tell people about it? I'm giving you the opportunity to do a plug here.
You do like some free advertising.
Almost. Maybe not.
Type it out.
Sorry?
But I will need to type it out.
Okay, sure. Well, in the meantime... We'll just sit here like lemons. Here you can see the latest satellite imagery from Jason. That looks current to me. So you can see first light starting to appear over Cyclone Solo now.
Visit my gaming channel. It is called C-Rex. If you don't subscribe, you are a loser.
According to Daniel, if you don't subscribe to C-Rex, you are a loser. And his channel is, well, he's actually posted once or twice on the comments section, so if you're looking at that, you'll know what it is. But it's C-Rex, that's a hyphen, C-Rex is his channel. Almost like T-Rex, but with a C.
Yes.
That's his gaming channel, he likes doing that. Some of them are quite fun. Anyway, he also has another channel which we won't mention, unless he wants to. But anyway, there's Cyclone Solo. I almost called it Pam then. How bad's that? That's headed for New Caledonia, and it could strike that area as a significant cyclone. Could also affect Vanuatu in the next few days.
My prank call channel is named Rex Pranks.
Your prank call channel is named Rex Pranks. He has a prank call channel as well. Don't tell too many people.
With the Z
Never know,
at
the
the
posh
end.
healing lady could be watching.
All right, Michael. Let's not mention all that stuff. Now, let's take a look at Jean's models there. You can see that on there on his screen. Joalane, the models for Joalane, likely to move towards the south. There's one outlier there a little bit, the yellow one. What is the yellow one? Is that GEM, or am I getting completely confused with that? Good guess, GEM it is. That takes a bit more of an eastward deviation for a while, but all of the models have pretty much the same destination, really. The storm moving towards the south, most of them predicting that westward kink before it turns back towards the southeast, and then eventually, well, it'll be post-tropical by then, but the remnants will continue towards the southeast by the looks of things, and try to head poleward probably.
Nathan,
Talk about
Yeah.
Wiki.
are we good to do the game then?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just going to take a little look at what's going on in the US at the moment, whether there's any warnings.
Should I talk about the
Helen.
wiki?
Can you talk about what?
Should I talk about the wiki?
Oh, yes, you can. You can talk about the wiki.
Just a secretary.
Just a what?
Just a second.
Just a second. That's what I thought you said. Talking about, well, Force 13 apparently has a wikia, which I do not really take a part in.
Indoors?
This is a fan-made wiki about the tropical cyclone tracking website, Force 13, which provides world storm updates in the form of video and information on the
Very
web
good.
and on its YouTube channel.
Very good. And well, I mean, yes, good idea. 17 showing us the slight risk of severe thunderstorms forecast today and or tonight.
http://force13.wikia.com.
That voice
Force,
is creepier and creepier.
it really is. Force-13.wikia.com. That's the fan-made wiki for Force 13, which I did not take a part in, but you can if you wish.
Affirmative.
I wonder whether Force 17 will be part of that.
Oh yeah, by the way, Force 17, just saying, Force
What?
15 and Force 14 are
I
taken.
cannot
Yeah,
let
well,
you.
well, he's not taken Force 15 or Force 14, has he?
Saying those trademarks are taken.
Really?
I cannot let you do that.
Right.
Okay then, are we ready to play Guess the Storm?
In just a moment,
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm just going to send Arthur a link. I believe that's what he wants me to do.
Just a secretary.
Just a secretary.
Aha.
Um,
Can you lock it to my screen, Nathan?
just one moment, Michael. Michael wants us to play Guess the Storm, so we'll do that a little bit whilst we've covered pretty much all bases in the world of storms. Don't worry, we'll return to it. We'll be tracking Cyclone Joalane and Solo and rounding it up at the end. But Michael, go ahead.
I will win.
Okay, then. So are we ready for the first one?
Yeah, hurry up, Mike.
Yes.
Well, that I'm not going to say it actually, but I think we may well know that.
Oh, yeah.
If anyone else would, Jason said it with his Australian Jason.
Stanley.
What?
Rina.
What?
Is indeed
Katarina.
Typhoon
Oh, two talking at once. Couldn't hear either.
Haiyan.
Katarina.
Not Katrina, no.
Typhoon Haiyan.
Well, that's what Jason says. Michael?
Sake.
Correct.
Yeah, he's
It's
got
Typhoon Haiyan.
For God's sake.
it. That was a pretty easy one, though, eh? And that's another one.
Stanley.
Don't say it.
He just did.
Stanley.
Let's
For those of you playing along at home, if you did it quicker than Daniel, then pat yourself on the back.
Yay.
Because it's I'm looking at live stream on mute, and it's still on Typhoon Haiyan. So
Yeah.
don't say it until I say you can say it.
It's got a minute delay. Jean, I think he wants to get going now. So Jean, thanks very much for joining us this evening. We'll be rolling on for a few more minutes yet, but thanks very much, and I'm sure we'll see you again soon.
Bye bye.
Can't say it yet. Hang on. Or guess it yet.
yeah, John.
HMM. I do not know.
Jason now?
Not sure of that storm.
It sounds like Jason, doesn't it? Oh, Michael's already clicked it. It's L.
Mate,
Critical error.
Yeah, it's Zell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good, very good.
Nathan.
Yeah, what?
All.
Malfunctioning.
I just find it weird when a robot says my name.
Nothing.
Now, what's this?
Later.
I feel like I should know this one.
Question mark.
No, it's not Typhoon question mark.
Wow.
What do you guys think?
A bluepit.
What?
A bluepit.
Who said Hagapit? No, it's not.
Certainly isn't. I'm just thinking. Don't click anything yet. I'm just wondering about this. I think it's a typhoon.
And no, I'll give you a clue. It's a hurricane.
All right.
Eunice.
So much for that.
Eunice.
Eunice? No, it was not Eunice. No, just give me a moment here whilst I try and think about this.
Anta.
It was a hurricane and...
Santa.
No.
Hey.
Oh, hold on. No.
You have 10 seconds to guess.
Jason,
10,
do you know?
9, 8,
Is
7, 6,
417?
4,
No.
3, 2,
Nothing.
I
1.
get it.
Oh.
It was Michael, was it really? I didn't think it would be Michael at all.
Nothing. You are an expert. How do
Shut
you
up.
know?
Isabel.
Wyatt. Force 17 said something. Did he say Isabel?
Did you say Isabel? Did you?
And the
Yeah.
fail.
Yeah. You got it.
Isabel.
Got it.
Yeah, Arthur said that as well.
Well done.
Just
So he did.
Well done.
Isabel.
Yes.
Oh.
If you've just joined us, Force 13 live, it's 10 o'clock, and that looks like Typhoon Meggy. But it might not be, actually.
Are you absolutely sure? Do you want to phone a friend?
I need help.
Are you absolutely sure it's Maggie?
It looks like it.
I need help.
Nathan.
Yes,
You just
go on.
won $1 million!
How about that? That's not as much as £1 million.
2010.
Yeah, it's the centerpiece of the Hurricane Week logo,
Sarcas-
believe it or not.
Sarcastically. Not
Shh.
sarcastically.
Yes. That is... I think that's another typhoon, and it looks familiar, so that means it must have happened since 2012.
This is very hard.
And I think it might be... It might not even be a typhoon, actually. It's not... It looks like a Category 5, let's say that much. It doesn't look like Hurricane Marie. And the East Pacific hasn't had any of the Category 5 storms. Arthur says Haiyan, by the way.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be that. Atlantic hasn't had any Cat 5 storms, so I don't think it's any... It could be Igor, I suppose, but don't think it is. Oh, then again, it could be, you know. Yes, how about that? Remarkable.
Well done.
Well, well, well. There's an Atlantic storm. I don't know whether it might be Ike or whether it could be Gustav. Gustav was strong by the time it got there.
Gustav.
Head.
I think it might be one of those two. Does anyone else know? Who knows?
Someone Gustav.
Tip.
What was that? No, it's not Tip. 417, did you say something?
Gustav.
Gustav.
It's not good stuff.
It's not.
Ike.
Chinese lantern going up over my house.
Daniel says Ike.
Ike.
So an Ike, no.
Then, in that case, I reckon it might be an earlier
Want me
storm.
to give
then.
you two clues?
No.
I'll give you two clues.
Andrew.
I just said no, Mike.
2005.
Right, I reckon it's Katrina.
No.
Too far south.
to be
Rita?
Ivan.
correct.
Rita.
I believe it is Rita, actually.
Arthur just guessed it as well. And he's got a delay too, so I think he would have got it before me by quite some distance.
No, it had been on
So,
there. It had been on there for at least a minute on there.
I'm very angry.
Well done, Arthur.
I'm very angry.
Very angry. Now, what's this? Looks like about two.
Don't say yet. Don't say yet. Don't say yet until I say you can start saying on here.
Oh, I've
So
just
I'm
said it.
watching the live stream on mute.
Well, I'm looking at the clues right now. It says at the top, September 13th, 2004. So that narrows it down a little bit, Michael.
Yeah.
Katrina.
No, even Daniel doesn't know. He's a novice at this. We know that.
Okay, and just see it. Okay, you can start guessing now. It's on the live stream now. You can
But
start guessing.
what storm was it in? Oh dear.
The masculine name.
What is
It's
it?
what?
Face palm.
Well, is it? Where did Ivan go? It might be Ivan actually.
Correct. It is Ivan.
Yes.
Hurricane Ivan.
Didn't it form on September the 4th, Ivan? I was just trying to figure out where it went. It went to the Caribbean, didn't it? That's the track map for Katrina.
needs practice at this.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Oh, well, there you are. Arthur got it right as well with Ivan, so well done to Arthur. If anyone is still left watching us, then hello. We're approaching the end of the show. As a matter of fact, we've run over by 5 minutes, but don't worry, we're not a professional service. We can do whatever the hell we like. Here's the latest image. It's not actually
Nathan.
the latest. Yes, what?
Nathan.
Yeah, hello.
Could I say a few things?
Yeah, go ahead, Mike. Just
Okay,
give me one quick moment whilst I what are you going to be talking about?
Just a few things to do with Force 15 and some things that we could be doing.
Well, let me tell people first of all the storm situation. First of all, there's Joalane headed towards the south. It's still got winds of 85 miles per hour, which is around 140 kilometers per hour or something like that. Headed towards the south. Rodrigues on the left-hand side. It's passing strong wind warnings in effect there. Cyclone Solo is also located in the southern hemisphere, the South Pacific to be precise. That's intensified up to 60 miles per hour, and that's headed for New Caledonia, where warnings are starting to creep into effect. Same for Vanuatu. Vanuatu could see the edge of that storm as it passes through in the next few days, so watch out for that. Michael, go ahead.
Okay, so as you know, Force 15's now been going for a year, and starting to expand that in the local area, possibly doing some fundraising for charity, because I did feel for the Philippines when they had Typhoon Haiyan back in 2013, and just like when some places get really bad storms, thinking about doing fundraisers, and you guys could do some in your local area as well. And
How
so,
can I help?
what?
How can I help?
Well, I'll possibly be doing some fundraisers to help possibly donate to areas that have been affected by tropical cyclones. One of the main ones probably be the Philippines, because they've just had a barrage of tropical cyclones within the last 50 years.
They always do.
One of the most tropical cyclone prone areas in the world.
Well, that is indeed what we're trying to do as well, especially during the Hurricane Week feature this year. We're hoping to do like a fundraising night at the end of the Hurricane Week. I hope we can be a part of it, Mike.
Yeah. And also, if you guys want to send an email to help in any way, you can send Nathan an email. I think isn't it force13@hotmail.co.com or something.
Force-13@hotmail.co.uk. You can actually find it on my YouTube About page on my YouTube channel.
Yeah. And also you can email me as well on michaelscott2010@live.co.uk, or you can also get hold of me on my Force 15 email address is force-15
Really?
in letters. Yes, force-15 in letters @live.com. So yeah, and also if you guys have any ideas, send them to Nathan or me, and see what we can do with it.
I'm not giving anybody my email. It is private.
Yeah, and here on Force 13, I hope I can fulfill any requests that you guys have as well. Though I think
Yeah, a lot of people have
hypotheticals are
been coming in with hypos.
pushing it a bit, to say the least. Anyway, that is it from us this evening from Force 13, Force 15, and Force 17 HQ. What's going on there? And we'll be back again probably tomorrow around the same time. We'll be discussing more on the tropical storms. I'm sure Tropical Cyclone Solo will be giving us plenty to talk about tomorrow evening. But from now, for myself and everyone else, that's it. Daniel, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for
Thanks for
watching.
joining us, Force 17.
I'm going through everyone. Force 17, thank you.
Toodles.
Toodles. Jason, thank you. It must be very late over there. Gosh, it's like 5 a.m. isn't
Thank you.
it? Jeez. Michael as well.
5 a.m.
Jeez, Jason, my word. And for myself, Nathan Foy, that's all from us for now. We'll see you again tomorrow. Goodbye.
Yeah.